Welcome to Pick Me Up at 9, the show where we go on a date for your entertainment. You may notice something different about us. We have new microphones.
Forgive our learning curve. You might have just heard a bunch of noise just now from my hair. I'm not used to this. Maybe I should pull my hair back.
Might help. We are going to have some open flames here on the show.
Oh, yeah.
In
safety first.
Just a moment. So for our opening chat, we're just going to have opening chat, just like we're doing right now. And then we have, let's see, let me pull up the schedule. We are going to be doing an indoor mini fire pit. That's what it's called. And we're also going to be roasting Starbursts. If you've never roasted Starbursts, you should try it. Then we'll go on to our movie shows book section. And then we're going to be talking about a TV series that we had started, and then we will have an artsy wrap up with some poetry, bringing it back to basics.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while since we've done poetry. We've been switching things up a little bit by doing music. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying that. Hopefully YouTube is okay with that. I feel like the rules with that are kind of complicated, but people post covers all the time, so
yep. Maybe
hope you've enjoyed.
If this thing takes off, we might have to jump on Patreon or something so we can share more music in the future.
Ooh, that would be fun.
I don't know what we would do, but we'll figure something out.
For sure. I really don't know much about Patreon and all that stuff. Is it just a way to like raise money or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically your fans can pay you for an extra something. So usually people will do like an extra show that's exclusive only to paid members on Patreon. Things like that. So it's kind of nice.
It is nice. We didn't really prepare, neither of us prepared any questions, but one just came to my head because Devin's been building a lot of stuff with his job. So I was curious, what is something that you've always wanted to build? Like, if skill level, time, money wasn't an issue, what would you like to learn to build? And yeah.
I think it'd be cool to build a canoe. I would love to be able to build my own boat. I think that's like the ultimate woodworking challenge, is to be able to craft a canoe that's good enough to float. If it's not going to float, then obviously you fail. But if you succeed, you have a canoe and you built it yourself. So it's kind of a hard craft to learn, and I feel like that takes a lot of discipline. I know a lot of guys out there who do that with their sons as kind of like a coming of age thing, a rite of passage. They build a canoe with their son.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, Devin has been talking to me a lot about that. Like, what
rite of passage?
Yeah, what rite of passage do I want to, or do we want to do with our son, like a father-son thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a fun thing that some people do in different cultures, and sometimes there's different things for specific cultures, and other times people come up with their own thing.
Yeah, it's just a chance for, and you can do it with male or female, but it's more historically common for the males. Basically, it's just a chance for you to give more responsibility to the child that's growing, and you let them know, like, hey, you're growing up and I trust you, and here's more responsibility for you. But you usually have to put them through a trial first. So the one that is most common that people have talked about is the one that the Native Americans used to practice. And what they would do is they would take a boy that was coming of age out into the woods, and they would blindfold him and sit him on a rock and tell them that they had to wait the whole night alone. And they weren't allowed to take it off, and they weren't allowed to come home until the sun came up. Then the sun would come up, and the boy would look around to see that he was one, not alone. He was guarded by his, father and uncles and brothers, but also that he was strong enough and, willing enough to take the risk and kind of take that step into manhood. And it was there's lots of other rites of passage, but that's one that's most common. So I'd like to do something cool. Usually it's like hunting. If you're into hunting, like going and killing your first deer. My dad definitely did that with me. We went hunting and I shot my first deer, and we go up and to it, and there's the excitement, and we're cheering, and Dad pats me on the back and he's like, "All right, carry her out." And I'm like, "What? You want me to carry this thing?" But yep, that was part of it. I had to process the deer or I guess field dress the deer and then carry it out myself. So, and I was
awesome.
12 or
Wow.
13 when I got my first deer. So it was intense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because, like, I obviously don't want our daughter to feel left out, so I kind of want to do a fun, like, coming of age thing for her. But
Quinceañera.
yeah, but it's like I'm very much more of like the let's just party personality. That's what I want to jump to. So I kind of just want to have a cool, like,
That's cool.
sweet 16 or something. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a good challenge for her. But
I just think it's important developmentally to have something. It doesn't have to be a challenge, but I think it's more meaningful if it is a challenge because they prepare for it. But
some sort of bonding.
Yeah, just something to show like, hey, you're getting to an age now where you can start taking on more responsibility and earning, or not earning, but being given more trust um, as a growing young adult. So this is just a fun thing to demonstrate that, to celebrate that. And I've seen a lot of comments from people out there that are like, this is cruel, don't do rites of passage. But
Well, it doesn't have to be intense,
doesn't have
like
to
the
be
example
dangerous.
that you gave. You
Yeah,
know,
it doesn't have to be dangerous. It doesn't have to be stupid. It can be something simple. So
I'll have to do some brainstorming on that. I I I know this isn't exactly the same thing, but it got me thinking about doing like team building ropes courses.
yeah, stuff like
Did you
that's
ever
cool.
do that,
hmm
like in scouting or?
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah, so I did scouting, Boy Scouts, until things started getting a little weird with transferring between states, and then some of the scout leaders where I ended up moving to just didn't really care to help me, and I didn't care to try, and so I jumped out of that and I jumped into survival groups. But yeah, both um, groups of friends that would go out into the woods or scouting, I learned a lot of really great survival skills and things like that. So
Super cool.
team building things.
Yeah, we did like a little ropes course when I was, I don't know, maybe like 13, 14. I've done it a couple of times, but I did it one time with the church and then one time with my orchestra group. But with the orchestra group, it was more like just fun. Not
Yeah.
At least the parts that I did, because they had like this giant swing that we went on, and they like locked. Basically, I was like sitting on this tower, and then there was a rope that was the swing part, and then there was a thing that was holding me back. But the swing part was pulling me way harder than the part that was holding me back. And like,
That's interesting.
but they attached the back part second, so it was like pulling me off the tower.
Yeah,
It's kind of scary.
That's intense.
But it was the biggest swing that I've ever been on, and now on my bucket list is to like go on an even bigger swing, or the world's biggest swing.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I don't know, the closest thing I can think of is like bungee jumping, except that my legs were facing down.
Yeah.
That's the close. I mean, I've never been bungee jumping, but it was kind of like that, where you literally just drop down and swing forward. That's
crazy.
It was the best feeling.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Makes me think of like those parkour guys that do like just like team wall climbs together. So they like use each other to really quickly get up and over like a really tall wall. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
There's a channel on YouTube.
Doing stuff
It's
like that, yeah.
their store, STORROR. I watch them a lot. They're pretty cool. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for the microphone. I don't really know how loud to talk or how quiet to talk with this.
Just normal volume.
But
yeah,
anyways,
that going up the wall thing, that's a hard one. I have tried to do that one before at a separate thing, and I can't remember if I was able to do it. I think I got extra help. And it was like, we didn't end up doing it the way we were supposed to, so it was kind of cheating, but I'd like to be able to figure out how to do that correctly. But
yeah.
We have a super fun activity. So this was my initial Valentine's Day gift for Devin. And again, we film these episodes like 2 ahead of time. So it's not Valentine's Day yet for us, but not supposed to inhale this. So I have a sterno can.
I think it means like while it's burning, like not the fumes. So we'll see how sanitary this is.
Now you can see it. Basically, you can make a really cheap indoor fire pit. A lot of people do it with like Dollar Tree items. They get a glass bowl, but I couldn't really find any good glass bowls. I was just doing this at Walmart. So I got this stone one. I figured that would be fine. And then a lot of people do marbles. Oops. Each little bag of these were, I hope this isn't too loud. Each little bag of these were like 98 cents at Walmart. And I got 3. I had a little bit extra left over. So that was only like $3. The ball was probably like $3 too. And then the sterno can, probably about the same. So, pretty cool. Then I got our really cheap roasting sticks. They're all bent.
It's basically just like a coat hanger that they twisted into shape.
Oh, I don't even have you have the letter. Good.
Letter.
So, we're supposed to just light this gel. You've never used sterno can before.
I have used something similar to it. I'm going to dim the light a little.
Because you use just like a little Propel. What do you usually use when you go?
It's just a camping stove, so it's like a little propane.
Not Propel.
Yeah, it's like a little propane thing, and you just screw it onto a stovetop. So
okay. Stand back.
There it goes.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be able to burn for a decent amount of time. Oh, cool, you can see it. I was like, oh, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah.
That was good thinking on your part to dim the lights.
Yeah, kind of make more of the vibe. Since we're doing like a campfire thing, we'll be playing a campfire game and roasting.
ASMR. Oh, it's probably so loud.
It's probably so loud. I don't know. Maybe not, though. Maybe we're freaking out and it's like really not bad at all.
Hopefully this is even recording our sound. This is our first time trying it. It'd be really sad, but it's okay. We're still having fun.
We don't know.
I did think it would be cool to like do an episode completely in the dark, but just like with candlelight.
That'd be cool.
I thought that would be fun.
It is date night. We could do like a candlelit dinner or something one of these times. I don't know. Yeah, I think if the fumes are toxic, I don't know how this is gonna taste.
It said it's for outdoor cooking.
Oh,
and indoor entertaining. So I would think that it wouldn't be harmful.
I wonder if that means like with a pan though.
Oh, that's true. That is true. How's it smelling? I mean,
I can't smell anything right now. Maybe I got COVID.
I was trying to find info on that, like which one could I get that wouldn't be harmful. And I mean, this is, people just said to use a sterno can for roasting, so.
Oh, well, if they said for roasting, I mean, I'm sure that's fine.
They do have, just for y'all's information, specific sterno cans for s'mores. So I could have gotten that. Maybe that was the right one to get, but I had to like order it on Amazon. And, you know, I order too many things off of Amazon. And whenever I order things on Amazon, I feel like I have to buy multiple things in order to get the free shipping. So I just didn't want to run down that road. It's a problem. I'm like, oh, I might as well get this and this and this to get the free shipping.
Well, it tastes really good still.
Good. Is there any other fun things that you feel like we should try roasting sometime?
There was something I had thought of. I do know that one time we took like biscuit dough and wrapped it around like an Oreo or like a Chips Ahoy cookie or something like that, and then you just kind of hold it over the fire, roast it, and kind of makes a nice little treat. We did something similar like that on an earlier episode. Tessa made what was it? They were
fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos. It was fried.
Yeah, it was roasted. Just
hot.
Like croissant dough or something. Croissant. Wrapped around an Oreo and put into an air fryer. So this is really relaxing.
It's got a little crackle to it.
Yeah. Super fun. I've seen some people use sand with this. Devin had a game suggestion.
Yes.
Some alphabet game. I think we're gonna need it. I just swallowed. I'm so conscious about like all the sounds that I'm making right now. Anyways, tell us about the game.
Yeah, so this is the Rob Whitehouse alphabet game. It's also just called the alphabet game. Wow. It's like really crunchy right there. Anyways, basically one of us is going to pick a topic category. It can be anything. It can be like camping or shopping or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then the next person, whoever didn't pick the category, picks a letter in the alphabet, any letter. And then we have 10 seconds to come up with something in that category that something in that category that starts with the letter that is as close as we can get to the letter that was chosen. I'm explaining this really great.
Rules.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, the straightforward thing would be name something
that starts with that letter, but you can't do that. So you can't, if the object was like kitchen appliances and the appliance or the letter was B, you couldn't do blender, but you could do like crock pot. That's C. That's really close. And basically, if I'm one letter ahead of the letter that was chosen, and she would be one letter after the letter that was chosen, whichever. So we're both one away from the letter that was chosen. The one that comes after would be selected first. So you want to try to get something that comes after, basically.
Let's do it.
But we only have 10 seconds, so you gotta like be quick, otherwise you don't qualify. So let me pull up a timer.
This is so cool. I love this shot. Just seeing this blue flame.
It's kind of neat looking. It looks great against the black background.
Yeah.
Ooh, hot. Just kidding. It's not.
Okay.
It's in the background. Okay. Anyways, do you want to pick a category or a letter?
I'll pick a category. category.
Okay. Go ahead and think of one. Unless you got one.
Why is it so hard to think of a category?
Give me any category.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
College.
P.
Oh. Are you starting it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
as soon as we got the thing and the letter, we start. So you got 10 seconds.
Quiz.
Hey, you can't. You gotta wait 10 seconds and then.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, we'll do a different one.
Okay.
But yeah, we basically. Okay. Oh yeah, we were gonna write it down.
Oh.
But we don't have the paper. That's okay. We'll just say it at the same time. That way, I can't be like, oh well, I was also gonna do quiz. You know. So.
Okay. New category.
Yeah, new category. Go ahead and pick a different category. This is a hard game. I was like trying to think of something and I couldn't think of anything at the moment.
Let's do something simple. Animals.
Okay. L.
Okay. Oh.
1,
Moose.
2, 3. Oh. Monkey. I also chose M. So.
Okay. Oh.
So that one.
Shoot.
One was a tie. Are you like patting the microphone?
Yes. I might have to cut some of that out. Yeah, I feel like I was choking on my Starburst.
It's like...
Maybe we should give ourselves less time.
I like it. We could do like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I felt like that was pretty easy. I mean, animals was an easier category.
Okay.
So I guess, it's your turn to pick the category.
Yeah. Cars.
Oh.
Pick a letter.
Q? I don't know. Okay.
One, 2, 3. Roadster. Oh, okay. Well, she said race. I said roadster. So we both picked one that starts with R. No.
Looks like we've cracked the code.
No rules about that. Yeah, it's kind of a stupid game.
No, it's okay.
Who suggested this game?
It sounded hard.
Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, maybe we can get it down to 3 seconds.
Okay. That sounds good.
Do you want me to think of the categories?
Yeah, go ahead and pick a category.
Oh, okay, maybe I gotta think of something more specific. Okay. Book titles.
Oh, that's intense. I'm gonna need 5 seconds for that.
Okay, let's do 5 seconds.
Okay, book titles. D.
I think this is what it's called.
1, 2, 3. Ender's Game.
Is that what that dragon book is called? Like Aragon or something? Let me look it up. Yeah, there's like a dragon series. It's like kind of big in the 2000s. They made some movies off of it, but I think a lot of people said they were pretty bad.
Aragon.
Aragon? Okay.
With an E.
Yeah, my siblings liked it. You might like it. Devin's a lot more familiar with books than I am. That was pretty lucky that worked out.
Yeah. Speaking of books, though, for later, I gotta locate one of the books that... I don't know. I'll find it. I'll find it later. It's probably
what are you looking for?
There's a book that I was going to reference later, but...
For our artsy wrap-up?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to play any more of this game? Of the alphabet game?
I think we pretty much cracked the code.
Okay. We're so smart.
Look at us, guys. Roasting our starbursts over a chemical fire.
It's quite delicious. Chemicals can make things very yummy.
Mm-hmm. What's our next section?
I think we... Oh! Oh gosh, we still have movie, shows, books. Okay. Movie, shows, books. I was like, we're almost to our artsy wrap up. Nope. Okay, we watched Alone.
Mm-hmm.
We've been sampling some different series because we had one episode where we talked about what will we watch next, and we didn't really settle on anything. So we've been sampling all the ones we suggested. So first we did the X-Files, and this week we did Alone, which is a reality show. Real people are dropped off in the middle of the woods, middle of nowhere.
Usually it's the Canadian wilderness.
And they're allowed to bring some supplies with them.
I think it's like 10 items.
Yeah, literally by themselves, so they're directed on how to use the cameras. I think it's pretty unique, pretty awesome because,
Yep.
I mean, it looks nice. I mean, you can see that there's some crappier shots, but
yeah,
they have some views from their perspective.
Any of the contestants are basically considered survival experts, even though sometimes I would argue they are not. But that doesn't mean that necessarily that they're experts with filming. So it's a very real experience, and then they kind of dramatize stuff with music or cuts, and you're like, oh, what happens? Like, but yeah, it's a great show. There's tons of series. The season that we're watching right now is the one that's available on Netflix. I think it's season 9 or something like that.
Season 9, and so the idea of it is that you want to be the last one.
Yep.
There. I forgot who's been out there the longest before, but people will be out there for over 100 days or something crazy.
A long time. Yeah, well over 4 months or 3 months.
Right? Haven't people been out there for that long?
Yeah, at least. But yeah, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, they're literally just surviving on nothing. Most people are just trying to outstarve other people. Some people really are good at hunting and foraging for stuff, and they're able to obtain food and water. But yeah, usually it's the winter that really murders people. But they're all given a satellite phone, and there's always standby crews like a ways away. They'll never be able to find them or even see them, but they can call on the satellite phone and tap out of the competition at any time, as long as they don't die first, is what I always say.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
They have like bears walking through their camp, and
yeah, they have polar bears this season, which is crazy. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I think the X-Files was fun, but I feel like I enjoyed watching this more.
I agree.
Just because it's real people, and it's interesting because since they are alone, they have a lot of time to just like be with their thoughts, and so a lot of them are just talking about life and talking about how they're feeling, and so it's nice to hear some of their thoughts. One of the guys, the guy that did just tap out, was he Jacques or was it someone else?
Jacques, yeah.
Jacques. Something like that. He tapped out because he felt like he was missing out on life. His partner and dog, did he have a... I don't know. Most of them had a partner and a dog. That was like most of their home life. But anyways, he just was like, I can't be here with the thought that I'm missing out of what's going on there. And I feel like that's how I would be. Yeah. I have FOMO so bad, but yeah, I would not want to do the show, especially having young kids. Like, but yeah, even if our kids were out of the house and I was older, I would miss you too much. I'd get intense. Really... I'm a people person. I would hate being out in the woods by myself. It'd be fun with someone else for a bit of an extended time maybe, but... Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like the one thing that I learned in all of like my survival, bushcrafting, camping, whatever experience is that like, um, it basically your chances of survival go exponentially higher if you have other people with you. And
Mm-hmm.
a big reason for that is because of the morale and the
Mm-hmm.
camaraderie and the feeling that you get when you are in a stressful situation with other people. So if you're doing it by yourself, it's a lot harder. So a lot of people in the series that I have watched of Alone, a lot of people tap out because of the loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I just can't do this. And they're out there for a month, or in this case, this guy was only out there for 2 weeks, and then he shot a squirrel, and he's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
He just had this like realization moment where he wasn't like being sissy about it or anything. He had killed other things already quite a bit, but he just felt like different about this one particular squirrel, and it really changed his perspective on why he was out there. And he's like, I gotta go home. So
Well, he was saying that like it was weird because his only interactions with living things was killing them.
mm-hmm. Yep,
So
that was his only interaction with
if
something living.
yeah, if you're with someone else and you're catching food for your family or you're having other social interactions with living things, you know, it's I mean, every life is precious, including animals, but yeah. If all
It's
you're
true.
doing is killing the living things around you, ugh,
Yeah,
I feel like
that's a rough situation.
yeah, I feel like that's rough. So I thought I thought it was eye opening in ways that I didn't consider. I wanted to ask you if you were to be dropped off in the middle of the wilderness, where would you want to be dropped off at? Like, where do you feel like there would be amazing resources?
Like
And
where, as in like topography, or like a specific location, like Canada,
I
or
mean, just whatever comes to your mind. Is there a specific location? Is there a specific type of topography? Or
I think of topography in that question, and I would want to be dropped off near a clean water source. So water that's moving. Um, Water that's moving also means that it's not going to freeze in the winter time. And I mean, you can survive a long time, just kind of, even if you don't have a really great knowledge of survival in warmer months. I mean, survival weather can turn so quickly in the woods or in the wilderness, but it is true that your chances of survival are a lot higher in the warmer months.
yeah,
As soon as a winter comes, most people are going to die if you're in an actual survival situation. So if you have a clean water source that's moving like a river and it's not too small, then it's not going to freeze in the winter and you'll have water all winter long. So
that's nice.
you don't want to be too close to water's edge because flooding risk. And then there's also in the springtime, and then there's also the way that temperature works is that it settles at the lowest points in the nighttime while you're sleeping. And so you could end up being miserable and freeze if you're too close to the water. So you'd want to be lifted up somehow, topography wise, on a flat area above the water, above where the banks of the river are, and but close enough that you could walk over and get it. That's my ideal thing.
Okay.
There's the rule of threes. I talk a lot about it in the book that I just finished writing, about a seasonal approach to woodland survival. I haven't published it yet, but it's written, and I'll probably publish it by the end of this year.
So exciting.
Yeah, but I talk a lot about the rule of threes, which is basically you can survive um, 3 weeks without food. You can survive 3 days without water, and you can survive only 3 hours in extreme weather conditions without proper material. So And
Interesting.
that's how it works. If you're in really hot situations and you're overexerting yourself and you don't have water, you could dehydrate and collapse and then be dead within hours.
It's pretty crazy. You wouldn't think it would be just within 3 hours, but
yeah,
it's if, like you said, if it's extreme enough.
mm-hmm.
That's the
Body temperatures fluctuate a lot. You don't believe me? Stand up right now, put this video on pause, and do 20 jumping jacks and tell me you don't feel hotter. Like, unless you're super in shape, good for you, dude. Or lady, whatever. Anyways, I could talk about survival stuff for hours.
Yeah, I know. I had a few questions, but maybe I should just leave it there.
Go watch the show. It's great.
Yeah.
Educate yourself on some survival. It's awesome.
Yeah, I want to see who wins. They get how much money?
This season it's $500,000, but I could have sworn in other in other seasons that it was like $1 million or even more than that sometimes. But this one is $500,000, which I think is
that's less than I thought it was. I that's definitely not enough money in my opinion.
They're like literally in polar bear country, and they're like, I mean, $1 million, sure, but
even then,
$500,000.
I don't think I would do it because it's rough on your body to be out there.
You lose a lot of weight.
The people that we've only watched 2 episodes and they've already lost so much weight.
Yep.
It's rough.
Yeah, that's the reason why I couldn't do
I'm eating
that. No, it's okay.
Look at my pile and look at
You also crumple yours. I'm just leaving mine flat.
Oh.
But yeah, I definitely couldn't do it because I'm a really skinny guy. I'm actually trying to gain weight right now because I can't, and I'm tiny. So I'm trying to put on weight. But yeah, if I were to try to do the alone challenge, I probably would have to tap out within a couple of days because I'd lose too much weight.
Sorry, is he awake?
He's not awake. He's just wiggling a little. But we're getting close to finishing this episode, so we can go help him.
Let's go. Let's do some poetry.
Okay, poetry. I can go first. So I picked Henry David Thoreau. If you don't know who he is, you gotta read Walden. He's a very interesting character. I won't go into detail about him, but this book and who he is very fascinating to me. Can't recommend this enough. Changed my perspective on a lot of different things. I didn't agree with him on all of his thoughts, but a very fascinating mind for sure. And this is the poem that I picked. Oops. Okay, good. This is the poem that I picked by Henry David Thoreau. Our poems are kind of themed in the outdoors, so this one isn't super outdoorsy, but here we go. In vain I see the morning rise, in vain observe the western blaze, who idly look to other skies, expecting life by other ways. Amidst such boundless wealth without, I only still am poor within. The birds have sung their summer out, but still my spring does not begin. Shall I then wait the autumn wind, compelled to seek a milder day, and leave no curious nest behind, no woods still echoed to my lay? The end. So, I've read this one before. It's one that has stood out to me a lot. Anytime I think about nature, poetry, Henry David Thoreau definitely pops out to my brain. So one of my favorites.
Thank you. That one's awesome. Yeah.
Excited to hear what you have.
It's kind of fun. We don't always have episodes like this where everything ties in together, but it just kind of worked out that way because I was like, oh, we should utilize this, and we had happened to have just watched alone, and but I was like, we might as well do poetry about nature.
Yep.
There's so many good nature poems out there. The one I found is by Joyce Kilmer. Oh, I don't have the title copied here. I think it's called Trees. I could check that real quick. Search that here. Yeah. Trees. Okay. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Nice.
I thought that was so pretty.
Yeah, it's like a, I don't know, poet's personification of
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I
like
like
that.
anything that brings life to things. And yeah, it gave the tree life, emotion, personality. Um, Makes me think of our daughter. She's very imaginative right now, and
Yeah.
she talks about everything like it's alive and that it has feelings and a personality.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Just today, I was standing next to her and she said, it's sad. It's sad. I'm like, what is sad? And she points out the window and she says, the trash can is sad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm looking at the trash can and the way that the front of it is shaped, it literally looks like droopy eyes with like this big frown. I'm like, are you saying that the trash can looks like a sad face? And she's like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah. She just sees
okay.
stuff like that all the time.
I don't know
Like,
how you saw that. That's awesome.
it's so cute. Oh. Or like the headlights on a car. She thinks that they're eyes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess, now that I think about it, she has seen a little bit of the movie Cars before.
Oh yeah, she did.
So, but I remember as a kid thinking
But
stuff like that
their
even
eyes
before.
are the windshield.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But still, I mean, she did watch that, so maybe.
It's so fun having a toddler, though. It makes me think of it, like, gives me deja vu of how my brain worked at that age.
Yeah.
Having that imagination and noticing things like that. It's super fun. But yeah, I think that wraps everything up. I hope you guys enjoy.
Nice and tight.
Yep.
Wrap it up in Starburst wrappers.
Yeah. I was just trying to do some ASMR.
Oh.
See if you guys can. I don't want to get too close to the flame.
We don't care for ASMR. I don't care for ASMR. Anyways, thank you for joining us. If you're new here, all the things that YouTubers always say, leave a like and a comment, smash that like button.
Yeah, it's so obnoxious when it's in the middle of the video. They're like,
but before we continue, like you didn't know it was coming. Whatever, I get it. It's an algorithm. Definitely share us if you enjoy this, if you find that if you think that other people will enjoy it. Obviously, we'd like to see this channel grow. If not, though, thank you for returning. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting and listening to our nonsense and enjoying the episodes.
Ditto. Have fun and keep the conversation going.
Bye.